Blessings, blessings, and grand risings. The live just literally just started so fast. Blessings, welcome to. I think I'm gonna call these segments "Grace in the Morning," um, urban politics, because you know what we do. We talk about what's going on in politics from a critical thinking perspective, and it's a little bit of urbanized. If you don't know who I am, my name is Miss Grace. You can call me Miss Levi or Miss Grace. Today we have an amazing topic, something that me and you thought we would not be talking about today. So let's let YouTube change, send the notifications out. God be the glory. We're going to wake up today and we're going to talk about it. It looks like Trump possibly will be accused or found guilty of war crimes. Dun 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 dun. We have to keep our eyes on everything, guys. Things are going down, going down. Just the other day, we did a live on Trump efforts to defeat, how can I say, drug warlords in Mexico and Venezuela. Okay. So what we're going to do is continue that conversation because it looks like things are getting a little bit heated. So I want to start off by, as people start to get in and we get people in the audience, welcome, welcome. If you know who I am, it's Grace Levi in the mornings. You know, I'm a little free-ish, just a little free to be. And if you don't know who I am, I'm here 3 days a week in the morning where we talk about politics from a, how say, critical perspective. Not Democrat, not Republican. Everybody's welcome as long as you put respect on everybody's name. But this, let's start with this right here, and then we're going to get into it because the topic today is to find out, is Trump strikes on Venezuela legal? Okay, is it legal? And is he violating international laws? I know a lot of Americans don't pay attention to international laws, but we're going to have to because right now it looks like something is going down. So let's just put this on the screen as we get people to come on in and we get ourselves back in the algorithm. You know what it is. We've been suffering. Thank you to the South Sides and all their politics and politicking.
Sir, there are Republicans and Democrats up on the Hill.
So right here you see Trump basically getting confronted about concerns about his behavior in Venezuela. Let's get it.
Concerned that in the briefings they've gotten about those attacks,
we gonna talk about it. Dirty money.
Who was on them and what exactly was on those ships? Can you
ensure that? But they are given information that they were loaded up with drugs, and that's the thing that matters. When they're loaded up with drugs, they're fair game. And every one of those ships were, and they're not ships, they're boats, they're speedboats. They're extremely fast, record-setting type speedboats. They cost a lot of money, and they have a lot of money because they're drug sellers. But they know one thing, and they all have the same thing in common. There's drug dust. They call it drug dust. They call it fentanyl dust all over the boat after those bombs go off.
Oh my God! Wait! Y'all, if fentanyl was all over that boat, everybody on that boat was dead before the shooting, after the shooting, and the boat was dying. You know what fentanyl do? But let's listen because we're trying to figure out, is he's doing this legal, and are these people actually drug cartels? Because people in their country are saying that all of these boats are not drug cartels. So we're going to get into it. Welcome to everyone here in the audience. Dirty Money, man, it's been going down. He started this in September. So we're going to break down a little timeline. Thank you for being here. As you know, we try to get to the facts.
We know before. We know when they go out. We know we have much information about each boat that goes in. Please.
On the ships, though, sir, there are Republicans and Democrats up on the Hill concerned that in the briefings they've gotten about those attacks, they're not necessarily getting information about who was on them and what exactly was on those ships. Can you ensure that?
But they are given information that they were loaded up with drugs. And
all right, so Dirty Money, you said international waters isn't Venezuela. Yes, it is not, but there are international laws. And as you know, United States doesn't stand by itself. We have to kind of pull people out of, United States is everything, the only thing. Do you know how many countries there is in this world? Do you know even Africa, the continent of Africa, is way bigger than the United States, have way more resources? And if they put their stuff together, they're going to double, triple and quadruple the economy that we have here. I'm just kind of putting things in perspective for you because when shit hit the fan, y'all gonna realize how small America is and how we need to kind of act a little bit better. So when it comes to the international treaties, there are certain things or certain ways we're supposed to conduct ourselves, just like here in the United States where we have state law versus federal law, and you expect the states to abide by some laws. That's the same thing with the international treaty. How do you think we get resources, information, exchange things with other countries? We can't, United States cannot survive without doing trade with other countries, no matter what people say or how they feel. So we got to talk about this because what I'm thinking is, yeah, it's deeper than what y'all think. Okay, my conspiracy mind, I went to such to the left this weekend. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Trump is doing this. He is literally sending us down the path to a one world order. This is not a joke. We're not even going to get there yet. But let's kind of talk about this. The United States military has conducted multiple strikes on boats in the Caribbean, alleged by Trump administration to be carrying out drugs from Venezuela and operation in narcotics. They're calling him narco-terrorist organizations. These actions are highly controversial and have been criticized by many legal experts, and that's what we're going to talk about it from a legal perspective. You know, no emotions. We can't get kind of wrapped up here, but come on, y'all. We're going to have to do a little better because shit is burning. The house is burning down, and we can't function if we don't get organized to put out the fire. So these actions are highly controversial and has been criticized by legal experts and some lawmakers as potentially breaking international law and domestic laws, including the United States Constitution and the prohibition on assassinations. So it looks like that's what he's doing. Y'all remember when people got on Clinton, Hillary and them for going out and just blowing up stuff in, what was it? I'm thinking about Iraq, where they were like, they just literally just, remember all of that stuff came out through WikiLeaks, where they saw covert action where they were just blowing people up at that bus stop, that type of stuff. So if it was wrong there, it's wrong on international water. So some key points are, and we're going to highlight here, the airstrikes. Airstrikes as of October 2025, it started September. The U.S. military has conducted at least 6 strikes on alleged drug boats off the coast of Venezuela since September 2025, resulting in 32 deaths. Legal jurisdiction, now this is what we're going to see. The White House has informed Congress that the U.S. is now a non-international armed conflict. What does that mean? Non-international armed conflict? With drug smugglers, they're saying, so basically he's declaring war. He's declaring war. With drug smugglers and justified the strike under the president's constitutional authority for self-defense. Drugs been coming in here. We've been allowing drugs to come in here. So you're just going to blow ships up? I'm just kind of figuring this out. So issues are lack of prior authorization. The president has not sought out prior congressional authorization for these strikes, which has prompted concerns at and a failed war power resolution attempt in the Senate. Obviously, right now we're on a holiday. We're going to be talking about that holiday and how it affects us because they still spending, but they spending our money on the wrong stuff. But now let me go to the left. That's for Friday. No, Thursday. Okay, so these are the international concerns. Legal experts argue that using military forces against foreign ships in international waters is generally unlawful unless a clear legal exception applies, such as self-defense against imminent threat. Imminent threat, meaning like they're in our coastal waters, not international waters. Critics question whether the boat carrier was carrying drugs, but not posing an imminent military threat. So if they had drugs, that's not a imminent threat. That's a later on that people is gonna be high, and the drugs gonna get through our ports. But how would they get through our ports? I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay, so extrajudicial killings. Human Rights Watch and other experts have labeled these strikes as potential extrajudicial killings or cold-blooded murder because individual was killed without a trial or potentially was not even drug smuggler. Last aspects of this is lack of evidence. The Trump administration has not publicly provided concrete evidence that the bombing boats were actually carrying narcotics or were linked to specified terrorist groups. Claims has, he's just claiming it. So there's further scrutiny that's going on. You have to remember that there's a thing called sovereignty. While many strikes occur in international waters, because this is not nothing new, from where freedom is navigated generally applies. Venezuelan government and other commend the action or condemn the action as a serious violation of international law and a breach of Venezuela's sovereignty. They said we have the right to get our boats out and do what we need to do. Ooh, look at you. I'm not even saying that name at the bottom, Biz. I got in trouble. They found a new way to get me in trouble. Baby, I talked about the ADL and why they mad at us. Go check out that video. I did a history buff. Why they mad at us. Baby, that right there almost got me in trouble. So let's keep it moving. I want to say thank you for being here. If you like the information I share, please hit the like button. Let's deep dive into this a little bit more, because Trump is not only tripping on us in the United States, but he is literally all over the place. And remember, these airstrikes are carried out under our tax dollars no matter what. So this is our money turning into blood money. Yeah, I said it. That's why I don't participate. I don't got time to be going to hell for these people. I ain't got time. Trump U.S. Strike another boat alleged carrying drugs and waters off of Venezuela. So let's just watch this. Y'all know right now I am working to get myself back in the algorithm. This was 6 days ago because I was heavily struck by Democrat politics on the South Side and also other content creators. So if you don't understand why I'm doing my lives like this, it's because I'm pushing myself back in the algorithm, and we'll be going live on our streaming equipment later on this week. But right now, get this work. Let's see what Trump's been doing. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button.
The U.S. striking another alleged drug vessel.
Hit the like button as you come in.
Now the fifth boat to be struck by the U.S. in the Southern Caribbean in Trump's battle with international drug trafficking, bringing the number of people killed to nearly 30. Here's Washington, D.C. Bureau reporter Ross Ketchke.
Tonight, the White House releasing video of the latest strike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. According to President Trump, 6 people on board were killed in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela. The commander-in-chief claiming U.S. intelligence showed the boat was trafficking drugs. It's at least the 5th alleged drug boat obliterated by the U.S. military in the last few months. Since returning to office, President Trump has designated the cartels as terrorist groups. The deadly strikes raising questions on Capitol Hill about the president's use of military force. At least one Republican in the Senate backing a war powers resolution that was eventually voted down, but sought to limit the president's authority to target the boats without approval from Congress.
Since the U.S. policy is now to blow people to smithereens if they are suspected of being in a terrorist gang, then maybe someone should take the time to explain the evidence of their terrorism.
Much of the U.S. crackdown on the cartels has focused on Venezuela and its president, Nicolas Maduro. Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria Salazar celebrating this latest strike. Writing on social media, "We must use all means necessary to stop drugs from touching our country. I fully support all efforts to stop Maduro and all of his drug-selling gangsters and cronies."
I think
Speaking at the White House today, President Trump did not directly address the latest boat strike, but noted the increasingly tense relationship with Venezuela.
they're a big purveyor of drugs, but we have worse. What they do.
Look at my man. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna have to cut this out. Wait. He lost me. I couldn't even hear him. I wish I could show y'all a better picture. We're gonna be streaming. Look at my man suntan. That's not even a suntan. They need to put orange all over his face. They gonna start this orange man shit. Oh, I'm sorry. My ADHD kicked in. Hold on. Let's finish listening. Look at Trump. This is our president. Oh my God, looking like Cheetos. Let's go, yo. This is embarrassing. What the hell? Chinde Agua.
And combined, at least 27 people have been killed in all of these boat strikes over the last few months. That's according to the White House. Meanwhile, no U.S. military personnel have been killed or injured.
Okay, see? So where's the imminent danger? We're trying to figure this out. Also, we have to keep in mind that there's survivors of this. So in one recent instance, survivors were taken into U.S. custody, raising more complex legal questions about their status and legal rights. Yes, this is... So if y'all don't know what's going on right here under our noses, this is what's going on. So these is him. This is Trump administration authorizing these covert actions. Let's get to this real quick. You know, we like to read articles and listen to things, international news. The development comes as the United States military is drawing up options for President Trump to consider, including possible strikes inside the country. Let's see. Oh, we about to go to war. Oh, damn. Wait. I'm sorry, y'all. We going. Did y'all just hear what I just read? The fuck? We ain't even got our own stuff together here, y'all. This is okay. Shut up, Miss Grace. Let's watch this. I done lost my cheese and bread just talking to y'all this morning. Okay, if you like this, you like the commentary, hit the like button, please. I'm trying to get back in the inner algorithm. Not trying, but we are. Okay, as soon as you come in here, hit the like button every morning if you like the commentary and how we expand your horizons. Shout out to the kings and queens and everybody in between. Let's go. Let's see what they're talking about. Okay. If ad come up, I'm just gonna read it because I don't have time. I don't have time for this. Yep, let's read it. President Trump said that he had authorized covert CIA action in Venezuela. Boom, here we go. Covert CIA action in Venezuela. And they do this all the time. As I mentioned to you guys, they go into these countries prior to we even know and set up stings through the CIA. And a lot of the times, they're giving them the drugs, the guns, and things to do, i.e. Haiti. I know this from personal experience. And this is why it really opened my eyes because I see it from the inside. But let's just finish, watch this. So the CIA actions in Venezuela and what's considered ground strikes. So the CIA being inside of Venezuela already, they're trying to basically legalize that action by calling it ground strikes. Yo, if they know how to change up stuff, ooh, Venezuela foreign minister called American actions a policy of aggression. The Trump administration has secretly, this is why you didn't know about it, love. Yo, he been distracting us while the United States, or what do we say, we're on a holiday. I call it a holiday, talking about a government shutdown. They chilling. They getting paid and doing nothing by having us have anxiety, worried about it, shutting down food stamps and all types of stuff. We're going to talk about that this week. While this is still happening. So the Trump administration has secretly authorized the CIA to conduct covert actions in Venezuela. According to the U.S. officials, stepped up a campaign against Nicolas Maduro, the country's authorized leader. The authorization is the largest step in Trump administration intensifying pressure campaign against Venezuela. For weeks, the United States military has been targeting boats off of Venezuela coast. So we're literally in their waters. They're saying international, but if we're at the coast of Venezuela, aren't we kind of in between international waters and in their area? Like, okay? Even though we already helped dismantle Venezuela by infiltrating this government years ago, helping it turn to a socialist company and bank company. Oh my God, all countries are companies to me. Country, and now it's communist, and now they're broke, and now they came into the United States. Before I finish read this, let's just put this in perspective. They came into the United States under the guise, a lot of these Venezuelans, Trinidad Agua people, they believe we owe them. They believe we destroyed their country. They have some of them have real hate for us. That's why it is nerve-wracking to have them in here, because they're like sleeping cells. They like sleeper cells. You realize that? So while he's doing this, we have a bunch of sleeper cells in the United States. Let's think about it, y'all. We want ICE to execute their duties correctly so they actually can get these people out. That's what I'm saying. So this has been going on for weeks. For weeks, the United States military has been targeting boats off of Venezuela coast. It says are transporting drugs, killing 27 people, but we know it's in the 30s now or more. American officials have been privately, it has been clear privately. How the hell you clear privately that the end goal is to drive Mr. Maduro from power. So this is what we do. We want, I guess United States wants something in Venezuela. We want some of their resources or something. This is the same ammo. Mr. Trump acknowledged on Wednesday that he had authorized the covert actions and said the United States was considering strikes on Venezuela territory. We are currently looking at the land now because we got the sea very well under control, the president told reporters hours after the New York Times reported the secret authorization. Oh my God. They're not going to deport them correctly. They're not going to find them because they're trying to deport us. Our ICE agents are targeting the wrong people. We're warring amongst states right now. And then we're going international to go. This is hands-on. This is not third party like Venezuela and like Ukraine and Russia, Iran and Israel and Palestine. It's not third party. This is right here. Let's go send our army into something that we want war for. This is not good. I really don't think that this is a good action. Our military is being stretched too much. And as I get into the next article, y'all know I'm going to have to do a little bit biblical, just a little bit. The time that the Hebrews actually was transported into slavery was the time that they split into two tribes, which was Israel and Judah. They were all warring in between each other, and they were actually worshiping pagan gods. And what happened? Judah got taken over by Babylon. Israel got taken over by Assyria. And guess what? Us as the black people, the black real Israel, we were shipped out in ships. So that's how you lose war, by being within conflict within your own, and then you think you got strength outside and the enemy coming in to take that ass down. Excuse me. People don't understand my Hebrewism. Please, I do apologize. I'm refining myself. I'm not a regular Hebrew, okay? That's why we're going to call this hood politics, okay? I'm just not regular. Just bear with me if I kind of sound a little urbanized, okay? Let's go. The Holy Spirit still guide me. So, U.S. confronted with confrontation with Venezuela. Let's see what Global Conflict Tracker has to say, okay? The Trump administration recently informed Congress, they just recently informed Congress that the United States is in a formal armed conflict. I'm sorry, I just had to pause. We didn't even know it. This is trifling. Okay, let's finish read this. Now, the United States is in a formal armed conflict against drug cartels. Has labeled unlawful armed combatants. The United States insisted a military campaign against the Venezuela drug cartels in September, claiming cocaine smuggling by the narco terrorists. They always come. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Y'all come up with some good names. If we could come up with some name calling in America and categorizing, we do it the best. Narco terrorists. Never heard of it in my life, but here we go. Well, at least they not like what they called us. What do they call the black people who were selling drugs, and they called the young black kids? What Trump called? I mean, not Trump. Put it in a comment. I know you racist people know what Hillary called black people when they were doing their war on crime. They always coming up with some name. I'm just keeping it real. Pose an imminent threat to the United States. However, a legal expert has cautioned that there is no clear authority to use military force against drug traffickers and cartels, even if some are designated as foreign terrorist organizations, FTOs. The move marks a sharp departure from the United States practice, which has traditionally relied on law enforcement tools such as inter-jurisdiction and seizures rather than direct military operations. So inter-jurisdiction and seizures, that happens when it comes to our territory and we catch it. And we catch it at the harbor. And know where it comes from. Then we go back and start getting these people, in their country, things like that. It kind of open that conversation. That's what he's talking about. Okay? Background, Hugo Chavez came to power. Oh, man, we're going to talk about Hugo Chavez. But we'll get into finding a little bit about Venezuela. Because at the end, I do have a little video where they talk about Venezuelan powers. Someone is like, hey, don't sleep on Venezuela. Okay? Do y'all want to know a little bit about them and Maduro and things like that? We could get back at it, but I really want to kind of move forward to kind of. I'll get back to this when we get to that video. How about that? I'll leave this. Let me move it, y'all. And I think we'll talk about that when I get to that video where they kind of breaking down the powers of Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what BBC I have to say about this. Let me see if it's anything else according to my notes that I want to bring up to you guys. Thank you for being here. We will talk about how the military is responding to this. Oh, they ain't happy. Y'all saw the military when Trump was addressing them. They were mute. There was a reason why the military is mute. The military is starting to rebel against Trump. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about, too. We're going to introduce that topic today and talk about it in detail. U.S. officially say that they have carried out a number of strikes on boats in the Caribbean Sea, killing multiple drug traffickers. Announced that the first strike took place in September, as we're highlighting again. President Trump said that his forces has destroyed a vessel that had departed from Venezuela. And he has not provided us no proof. He said the boat was operated by the Trinidad cartel and was carrying drugs bound for the United States. Similar announcements have followed in recent weeks, accompanied with grainy footage. Grainy is grainy. I'm trying to say it right, guys. Y'all know I got a heavy tongue. Grandy, you're looking all, messed up footage, but no evidence of the alleged drug trafficking and few details about who or what was on the boat of each vessel. Trump officially says that they're acting in self-defense, again, by destroying the boats carrying illegal drugs to the United States, but the strikes have attracted condemnation in the region, okay? So it says in one case, the Cambodian president said the boat hit by the United States was not Venezuela. Ooh, said it was not Venezuela. Cambodian president. See, I just told you, we got a lot of countries here. We're not the only country here. We have to be mindful. But Cambodian with citizens that sat inside, which the United States White House has denied. After the first of the airstrikes, the BBC verified spoke to a region of experts into international and maritime law, and that's where we got to focus in on and get to know more about. Not just the Constitution, not just the state law. Now we got to pay attention to international law and maritime law, because guess what? Y'all don't know that. If y'all don't know, some of y'all probably know, because I got a lot of people from all over the world coming here. Y'all know about the Hague Convention. The Hague Convention, this was started in China, 2020, where they used this international court to have hearings about the behaviors of different countries, public officials, and things like that, to hold them accountable, because it's hard for us to hold our people accountable. As I mentioned to you guys, the Hague Convention a couple of weeks ago had a hearing and found that Israel was practicing genocide on the Palestinian in Gaza. So I'll leave that clip for you guys. They have called genocide on Clinton as well as other people as well. Not a joke, because of what they have done. So what these international hearings do is basically open the realm up for these public officials, do-batters, to be arrested when they go to certain places around the world. So pretty much they're like on house arrest to their own country. Trump can't go to certain places. Hillary can't go to certain places. Certain people who have already been tried in this international court where they have jurisdiction to lock these people up, they cannot go. That's why you have found some of the stars who did some of the sex trafficking with Epstein. They went to disappear, like Ellen, moved out the country and shit. People moving out because jurisdiction of the United States is different where she went. It's the same game, just a different thing, just a different thing. Does that make sense? So, all right, it's getting kind of hectic. So they're saying that not all of these vessels were actually drug cartel vessels. You have the Cambodian president saying, hey, motherfucker, this was our people or somebody else. So it's getting kind of hectic. Let's watch a little bit more, and then we're going to get into what the military is saying about this, because the military is not happy. Not happy. And as y'all know, guys, I'm trying to get the likes up. Get the likes up as the views come in. If you like what I'm saying and you hear longer than 2 to 3 minutes, just hit the like button if you appreciate it. What we're doing is getting back in the algorithm. As I mentioned to you guys, I've been severely gang stalked by people on the south side. of Illinois and the Democrats. Yes, baby. I've been having to put my IP address on spin cycle. Baby, this is how bad it is. So I got Anonymous on my side, and they fighting with me to get me back in the algorithm. So if y'all know what it is, if somebody got Anonymous on their side, y'all know I'm a whole nother breed. Okay? A whole nother motherfucking breed. Baby, talk about God. Talk about God. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't got no behavior. All right, let's watch this because God got me. All right, so let's watch this, guys. U.S. Navy starts Venezuela war. U.S. Navy starts Venezuela war. Trump new revelations on submarines attacked in Caribbean. Maduro. This was 2 days ago. So we bring y'all up to par because one of the first few people came in was like, we at war with Venezuela. Hell yes. Yes, thank you. Purple, black, brown, gay stalking is real. We're not going to get distracted here, but if you understand, they even use people close to you to gang stalk you. You be thinking you cool with them people done try to set you up and get you killed. But I learned a lot this year. Thank you for saying that. But guess what? I will survive. As I eat it. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's play this real quick. Y'all know I got no damn behavior. Welcome to Urban Politics with Grace Levi. Hit the like button.
Marco, to discuss that possibly?
Yeah, it's well known there's an ongoing narco-terrorist operation the United States has been conducting. As far as details of any recent strikes.
Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get to y'all comments because I'm hearing some things that I want to address. Charlie Scott, I was in the Army for 8 years. It's a lie. Okay, I want to hear, give me more detail. Tell me what's a lie. Because you were in the military for 8 years. Are you in there now? Are you talking to somebody? Do you have resources? And y'all know that if y'all don't know, I have family that's current, actively in the military. I have someone who's a sergeant major. My uncle who passed away was ICE agent, and he was in the Air Force. So I have respect, and I understand separation of powers, but I ain't no damn fool, and I ain't spiritually blinded. So give us some details, baby. I want to know what you're talking about, your expertise. I want to hear it. Let's hit the play. Let's start this from the beginning and hear this, because this was 2 days ago. We getting caught up on the times. It's kind of crazy. I can't wait to get back in the studio, y'all.
So
Let's start.
On Venezuela, there are survivors from your latest boat strike. What happens to those survivors?
Well, I'll ask Marco to discuss that possibly.
yeah, it's well known there's an ongoing narco-terrorist operation the United States has been conducting. As far as details of any recent strikes, we're not prepared here to announce all those details, but you'll get
You
that
a
information
lie.
here very shortly.
Hold
How
up.
are there survivors
You distracted me, Purple. You said Jesus. You better take that name off. I'm going to call you Jesus. You said, I talk to people in the military and they love what Trump is doing. Okay, well, I have some other information that I'm reading here, and it sounds like they're pretty uncomfortable because they follow the law. And guess what? They've been pushing back on Trump. They haven't been following his orders. You know that Trump actually, y'all love Trump so fucking much. I'm going to get this. Do you know Trump actually, in his first presidency, ordered the Trump to shoot us in the legs when we were protesting against the COVID? Bye, y'all. You see my leg? Oh, yes. He authorized them to shoot us in the leg when he was the president before. And they refused to. He was trying to use the military to give us inoculations. Remember he said that? He said, well, if they don't want to take it, then, we have people who are strong in the military. He was talking hella shit. Yeah, they've been defying him. I think you may want to go research or talk to someone else or talk to a few more people, kind of cross-reference, what you've been, just like we doing here, cross-reference this shit, because, baby, the military saying, hell to the no, to the no, because they follow the Constitution. Hell to the no. Sorry, y'all. To the no. Welcome to Urban Politics. Hit the like button. Let's go.
They're meant to be lethal attacks.
Yeah, again, I mean, we're undertaking these operations against narco-terrorists. That's what these are. These are terrorists. Let's be clear. And but as far as the details of any recent operations, when we are prepared to announce those, we will, as the president has consistently done. So you may get something on that later today.
Let me ask you, that was in a submarine, right? We attacked a submarine, and that was a drug carrier.
How do they know?
Built specifically for the transportation of massive amounts of drug.
Where is the proof? How did he know this? This is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is our problem. We have a lot of people who hear this stuff and just run with it. Like, yeah, there's drug smuggling submarines and it was made directly for that. And then we'll have people who echo this shit. Like the people in the audience talking about Trump 2028. Y'all, where's the evidence? Y'all want me to bring evidence, and I'm over here just going over different international news, what they saying. What the hell evidence you want me to bring? He supposed to bring the evidence. He doing the airstrikes, and y'all asking me for evidence? Come on, be better. Stop it.
Just so you understand, this was not an innocent group of people. I don't know too many people that have submarines. And that was an attack on a drug-carrying, loaded-up submarine. Yeah.
On Putin, is it your belief, as Mr. Zelensky said yesterday, that the threat of tomahawks and costs, as Secretary Hicks has put it, is that bringing him to the table, the fact that it's kind of a carrot and stick?
I don't know what's bringing him to I think he wants to make a deal, that's all. I can't tell you
What
what's bringing
deal?
him. Sure,
You here we
that's
go?
the threat.
You hear Chip talking about a deal? Because it's something in Venezuela he wants. They want their resources. It's something. I'm gonna look up what the hell Venezuela got. Let me go look
Threat
this
of that
up.
is
Are you
good,
watching
but
this?
the threat of that is always there.
What do they have?
Tomahawks are very dangerous weapons. They're incredible weapons. If you like warfare, it's one of the most accurate. You know, we hit 30 Tomahawks in Iran after the B-2s did their damage. We sort of gave it a little capper with 30 Tomahawks from a submarine. Quite far away, actually, but
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all finish watch this because y'all know I'm gonna put all of the links at the bottom. I got an aha moment because we're gonna need to be here for an hour, y'all. But it's funny because I had made a comment about Trump and them sending Black Hawks to Haiti and they want our resources under somebody's video. Somebody like, what resources? And I had to break it down. Haiti right now has one of the largest oil reserves that we have found in 2021. And they're trying to get it. Go research that. But then I'm like, okay, that's why they still trying to come into Haiti, and now they sending Black Hawks because they tried to get African soldiers to come in and they lost. Y'all know I'm gonna have to throw that in there. C.I.A, Tribe of Levi. We're gonna show you how to war. So he sent the Black Hawks in there. I'm like, why the fuck he keep bothering us? If we such a shithole country and we're gonna destroy ourselves, what do we have? We have one of the largest oil reserves, but bam, Venezuela has extensive natural resources, most notable close to the world's largest proven oil reserve. So we have unrefined oil in Haiti. And that's one of our problems. We can't refine it because our infrastructure and all of this shit going on with the government constantly being seized. But here it says most notably the world's largest proven oil reserve, along with significant deposit of natural gas, iron, ore, okay, and other minerals like gold, diamonds, and coral. Baby, this is trying to get resources. He's even trying to get resources from Ukraine. Talking about, yeah, you remember that deal is that something will stop if Ukraine give the United States something. Y'all see the writing on the wall here? Now y'all know I ain't tripping and y'all know I ain't biased. Come on, man. This is a little crazy. But this is the same pattern if you guys see the pattern. So let's look at this, and then we don't worry, we'll get to what they're saying, what has happened factually with the military, not people's opinion, because they know somebody. They know one person. Okay, so this was the first one in September 2012. Y'all didn't know this 2025, September 12th, 2025. So this is kind of like a flashback. I'll leave the full article, but this is when Trump first hit them on September 4th. Trump sent a letter to Charles Grassley, the president pro temp of the Senate, informing that the Senate of the military's actions. So he made the report consistent with the War Powers Resolution and has said that the strikes were made under the Article 2 constitutional authority. The letter indicates that the extraordinary violent drug traffic cartels, so extraordinary, please excuse my pronunciation this morning, violent drug traffic cartels. So this, after he did it, he basically went to the Senate like, hey, this is what I did, this is how I did it. Okay, so this strike comes after Trump signed a directive in July, so he's been like kind of working on this. And I know Trump ain't this smart. I don't care what y'all say. I know y'all love him with his old cheese doodle looking face. That man, he looking terrible. They starting to put that orange makeup on him again. They better stop. He got too much money for that. If the reality show people could look good with their makeup, why the hell Trump gotta look like that? But I got distracted. Okay. So he already directed this, as far as this article said, July, authorizing lethal force against certain Latin American drugs cartel that his administration designate as terrorist organization. Not through history, not through consistent like tracking what's going on, but his administration through the directive have not been made public. It is hardly the first time the U.S. military has launched strikes on alleged members of non-state armed group. Okay, so this was a flashback of basically what happened, and I'll leave this article for you guys. Shout out to everybody here. Hit the like button. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna win here. Okay, we're getting back in the algorithm after being severely abused. I'll stop saying that after a couple of months, okay? I'll stop saying that after I get myself back in the algorithm. Fight this monster and you guys realize that I'm a warrior. I'm a soldier of love, okay? And I've been severely hit and I need y'all help because I love what I do. I love having these conversations with you. I love having a higher thought pattern using critical thinking and meeting you guys from all over the world. That's what I love to do and no one's gonna stop it. What Venezuela military can do. Now, that's kind of long. We'll play that at the end. But let me get into how the military feel because I have pulled this up. Okay, let's read this to you guys. Now, yes. So this is according to Google. I'm just gonna say this, but you know how the AI is. They're gonna give you reference. So take this with a grain of salt. Don't have a heart attack. But it's better than saying, somebody I know allegedly said everything is good in the Army. Yeah, we love this shit. No. Okay. Yes, there has been significant tensions and reports of disconnect within the United States leadership regarding the Trump administration escalating military actions and orders concerning Venezuela, particularly regarding the legality of it. Because, a lot of us, we abide by the law. So we abide by God's law because we like humanity. And then because we're part of a nation state, we abide by their laws. But obviously our president don't. Because he ain't part of us. I think he got a plan to sell us out. We still moving towards a one world order with this month. Y'all don't peep it. We're going to talk about it. Particularly regarding the legality and the intent of the strikes. Key points include military unhappiness intentions include resignation of Southcom commander Hosley. Okay, the head of United States Commander of the Southcom, because he's over. I guess that's the international area. So it's a area that he's over called Southcom. Stepped down from his post due to the revelations over the boat strikes in the Caribbean and the widened effort against Venezuela. And this guy is black. He's brown, whatever color he is. He's brown. Okay. With some heart. According to the U.S. officials who confirmed the information to NPR, while he did not publicly voice policy objections, congressional sources indicate his departure signaled international policy tensions. Next, concern over legalities and justifications. There has been questions with the military and Congress about the legal basis for the strikes of the boat, which the administration claims are part of a non-international armed conflict against drug cartels. Lawmakers expressed frustration that the administrator provide little hard evidence to justify the use of lethal force. So you're literally killing people without a trial. You're not stopping them. You're not bringing them in. You're not taking them or getting them back to their country so they can stop. You're just killing people. It's just that's just okay. That's what I'm telling you. This get big as a lot of blood that's on America's hands because of this. And it's our tax dollars. Y'all be like you're thinking it's nothing, but whoever you support and your money goes to is this, you end up being connected to it, i.e. what happened to me on the South Side. Anyway, so if he doesn't have any hard evidence to justify the use of the legal force against individuals who were potentially not unlawful, what they call it, pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just making that up. Mission creep Okay, so the stated goal of the military presence has been counter narcotics operation, but the U.S. officials have privately indicated that the main goal is to drive Nicolas Maduro from power. Some within the administration and the military fear that explaining and expanding the campaign in this type of manner will change the operation and increase the risk of entangling the U.S. in a wider endless war, which the president has promised to avoid. Last thing again, we're going to highlight lack of congressional approval. We need that. That's why we have separation of powers. That's why I know people who, some of them make comments in here, they gotta be trolls or they have to be slows. I'm just being honest. Because this is why we have separate powers. We have the Senate, we have the Congress, we have the executive branch. Is because we all supposed to work together as no one is a dictator. That's why they had the No Kings protest. Shout out to y'all, even though the black people didn't participate. We see y'all. We in the corner like, hey, we got y'all. From the back side, on the black hand side. Okay, I'm just playing. Let's finish. Shout out to you guys who still fight for your right, because we already said that our brothers, Gentiles, the Europeans, y'all got to get the hell out and fight this because y'all created it. So y'all doing a good job. Good job, good job. Okay, so the last thing we're going to highlight here is lack of congressional approval. Members of the Congress from both parties expressed concerns, not just Democrats, not just Republicans, but both, about the administration proceeding with military action without congressional approval or significant or efficient evidence, highlighting our significant debt. And some accuse the White House of ignoring the advice of expert military leaders. What is going on around here? So if y'all didn't know this was happening, this is part 2 where we were talking about Trump coming after Venezuela and Mexico, the implications of it, and kind of ways that he can do it a better way. Just know I don't agree with illegals being here, especially criminal illegals. I mean, especially if you're a criminal. Okay, some people seek to get out of their country because of the war-torn country they're in and the circumstances, i.e. some of the things are created by our administration. Like why I'm a little nervous. Venezuela, go look up the history of Venezuela and how they got where they were. This ain't the first time that the CIA did covert things in Venezuela. This is how they got there. So now we got sleeper cells. Go look up what a sleeper cell is. Just waiting for us to act the hell up because our ICE agents, our law enforcement and National Guards don't have a real comprehensive plan to get these illegals. They just have to work together, cross-reference paperwork, really get the criminals out first, then start to allocate the money or allocate the money to the right resources as far as investigation, as far as for legal proceedings, but not just going to just lock people up because they're literally locking Americans up. Go check my reel. That video I showed you was a young black man from Chicago, 16 year old. ICE is running down on American citizens illegally. We talked about that. They don't have the jurisdiction to lock us up. They have the jurisdiction to run down and lock up on people who are suspected violators of our immigration law. So we can't keep justifying these actions because we're dealing with our emotions. We need this world to survive. I don't understand why people don't have more of a care in their heart about your generations to come. Like y'all living for today. Like, yeah, do it today, blow it up. Y'all have grandkids that's going to inherit what we make. And it looks like we're going towards destruction, okay? So if you like what I'm talking about, hit the like button. You're here with Miss Grace Levi. This was Chit Chat in the morning. I'm kind of trying to get the name, but I think we're still going to be under urban politics, okay? Because you see how I hit this commentary. A little urbanized, a little bit sophisticated, and a little bit legal, okay? So this is where I want to close off on because we're going to be talking about this coming up. Hold on one second. Let me make sure I got the right thing. One thing we're going to be talking about is the spending and the government shutdown. So we'll be talking about that Friday. Oh, this is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Hold your horses, y'all. We already basically in war with Venezuela. And Trump is trying to wrap things up with China. China. Y'all know that? We in fucking deep doo-doo. Now, hold on. As we was talking about the migrants, you remember we talked about the migrants coming in and having these intrinsic type of pathways to get here. And I mentioned to you, China did it raw. Like they had that down pack. It was so well orchestrated that they had hotels that they had a certain checkpoints where these people were traveling. They were traveling by boat, water. They had like 20 days of traveling itinerary, and they would stop at hotels, and those hotels would have Chinese signs saying where these migrants was going. They was just flooding the fuck in. Check this out. We in deep doo-doo. Check this out.
Police have confirmed an FBI raid at a massage business.
Police busted a massage parlor in downtown Franklin.
Alabama Human Trafficking Task Force carried out search warrants at 3 massage parlors.
Nationwide operation involving hundreds of law enforcement agencies.
Woo.
Federal authorities have just delivered one of the most significant human trafficking crackdowns of the year. A coordinated multi-state raid targeting a sprawling network of Chinese-run massage parlors operating under the radar of ordinary American life. In a single week of non-stop enforcement known as Operation Coast to Coast, more than 30 suspects were taken into custody, and over 60 victims were rescued from forced labor and sexual exploitation. The scope of the investigation stunned even veteran agents because of how far the network had spread, from Texas and California to New York, Missouri, and Oklahoma. For years, many assumed trafficking of this kind existed only on the fringes of big cities or near international borders. This week shattered that belief. The investigation revealed a transnational criminal structure hiding in plain sight, using ordinary storefronts in suburban strip malls to traffic women across the country while funneling profits back to overseas crime syndicates.
Yo, we got a lot to talk about, guys. I know I'm gonna leave y'all at a cliffhanger. Y'all know what we do here. This is about to hit because, again, this is looking a little bit different. Not only do we have crazy tension with China. China owned a lot of our bonds related to the housing market crash in 2008. Y'all cannot forget that. Also, to highlight that it looks like and it's not foreign. I don't think that this is a lie. They may be trafficking drugs, women, and all types of stuff through their businesses. The businesses that was given tax breaks in the black neighborhood. I'm gonna just be mad right now. I'm gonna give these people tax breaks, all types of shit to bring their people up in here. And we up in here stressing and shit, can't get along. But now y'all talking about they sex trafficking, our damn kids going missing, all types of stuff. I ain't even gonna go off at the last minute. This is what I wanna say. I wanna say thank you for being here with Miss Grace Levi. You know we free-ish and shit. Please excuse me, guys. I know I'm a Hebrew. I'm from the tribe of Levi, but I still need to get refined. So over the years, you're going to see me get better and better. We're going to drop some bombs, and we're going to praise God at the same time. Like, God, come and help me. Because if y'all know Jesus Christ, he came with 2 swords to divide. 2 guns up. With that goes to say thank you for being here with Grace Levi this morning on our episode of Urban Politics, Grace in the Morning. Please hit the like button if you like what I do, because we're working to get back in the algorithm. Again, thank you to all my supporters who's here basically saying, thank you, Grace. Thank you for the Democrats not knocking you out. You know what I mean? Because we're here to enlighten as many people as possible. So love and blessings to all my kings and queens and all the animals in between. Hit the like button.